Hey everybody, and welcome to Oyiche Cyber Tech Solutions, where the Wi-Fi signal is strong and the travel tips are even stronger. You know, folks, when people talk about bucket list destinations, Africa doesn't always get the love it deserves. But let me tell you, this continent, it's got it going on. We're talking breathtaking landscapes, vibrant cultures, and wildlife that'll make you say, Lion King ain't got nothing on this. Our team here at Oyiche, we're not just tech wizards, we're adventurers at heart. And let me tell you, putting together this list of the top 10 unforgettable places to visit in Africa, it was tough, like trying to pick a favorite child. But someone had to do it, right? So we've compiled the most awe-inspiring, the most exciting, the most you gotta see this to believe it places that'll make you want to pack your bags and hop on the next plane. So sit back, relax, maybe grab some of that delicious South African biltong, and get ready to be amazed. Oh, and before I forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends, because trust me, you're not going to want to keep this adventure to yourself. First up on our epic African adventure, we're heading to a place that's so impressive, it's got 2 names. That's right, folks, we're talking about Victoria Falls, or as the locals call it, Mosi Oa-Tunya, the smoke that thunders. And trust me, this ain't no marketing gimmick. This waterfall lives up to the hype. Imagine this. You're standing on the edge of a cliff, mist swirling around you, and in front of you, water is plummeting down a sheer drop twice the height of Niagara Falls. It's like Mother Nature decided to turn the volume up to 11 and create a water show that'll blow your mind. Now you're probably thinking, okay, a waterfall is cool and all, but what else is there to do? Oh, just a casual bungee jump off a bridge overlooking the falls. Or how about some whitewater rafting in the Zambezi River, where the rapids are so intense, they'll have you holding on for dear life. But hey, if adrenaline isn't your thing, no worries. Take a leisurely stroll through the rainforest surrounding the falls. Soak in the breathtaking views and maybe make friends with a monkey or two. Just, keep your snacks close because those little guys are notorious for their 5-finger discounts. Speaking of snacks, you know what pairs perfectly with stunning views and heart-stopping adventures? Delicious local cuisine, of course. After a long day of exploring Victoria Falls, treat yourself to some nshima, a Zambian staple made from maize flour, served with a side of stews and vegetables. And if you're feeling adventurous, why not try some mopane worms? Don't worry, they're not as bad as they sound. Okay, maybe they are a little strange, but hey, when in Rome, right? Or should I say, when in Zambia? Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds amazing, but how do I get there? Well, the good news is, Victoria Falls is easily accessible from both Zambia and Zimbabwe. You can fly into either country and then take a short drive or bus ride to the falls. So, what are you waiting for? Book your trip, pack your bags, and get ready for an experience that'll leave you breathless. And by breathless, I mean both from the incredible views and the sheer terror of bungee jumping off a bridge. But hey, that's all part of the adventure, right? All right, folks, for our next stop, we're trading thundering waterfalls for towering heights. Get ready to lace up those hiking boots because we're heading to Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa and a beacon for adventurers from all corners of the globe. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Climbing Kilimanjaro is no walk in the park. It's a challenging trek that'll test your physical and mental limits. But you know what they say, anything worth doing is worth breaking a sweat for, right? Plus, the sense of accomplishment you'll feel standing on top of Africa, priceless. But hey, even if you're not an experienced mountaineer, don't worry. Kilimanjaro offers various routes, each with its own difficulty level. So, whether you're a seasoned pro or a first-time trekker, there's a path for you. Just make sure you pack your patience, your sense of humor, and maybe an extra pair of socks, because trust me, you're gonna need them. And speaking of things you'll need, let's talk about the views. As you ascend through lush rainforests, alpine meadows, and finally, the snow-capped summit, you'll be treated to breathtaking panoramas that'll make you question if you've somehow teleported to another planet. But Mount Kilimanjaro is more than just a pretty face, my friends. It's a symbol of resilience, a testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome any obstacle. And for the Chaga people who live on the slopes of the mountain, it's a sacred place, steeped in history and tradition. Now, I know what you're thinking. Trevor, you've sold me on the views and the challenge, but what about the wildlife? Well, my friend, Kilimanjaro doesn't disappoint in that department either. As you trek through the mountain's diverse ecosystems, keep your eyes peeled for colobus monkeys swinging through the trees, elusive leopards stalking their prey, and colorful birds soaring overhead. And once you reach the summit, well, let's just say, words don't do justice to the feeling of standing on top of Africa, surrounded by a sea of clouds, the sun rising over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange, pink, and purple. It's a moment you'll cherish forever, a memory that'll stay with you long after you've descended back to reality. So, what are you waiting for? Start training, book your flight, and get ready to conquer the roof of Africa. Just, maybe pack an extra oxygen tank just in case, for safety. Marrakesh, Morocco. This place is like stepping into a storybook, with vibrant colors, exotic smells, and enough tagine to feed a small country. They call it the Red City, but it's more like a rainbow exploded, and someone built a city out of the pieces. You walk down these narrow streets, called souks, and it's like a sensory overload. Spices piled high, silks shimmering in the sun, and vendors selling everything from magic lamps to camel-related items. And speaking of camels, you haven't lived until you've ridden one through the desert. It's bumpy, smelly, and sandy. But you can tell everyone back home you rode a camel. Marrakesh is chaotic and beautiful, ancient and modern. You'll leave with a camera full of photos and a stomach full of delicious food. Now, let's talk about the food, people. Moroccan cuisine is a whole experience on its own. We're talking tagines, those beautiful clay pots filled with slow-cooked meats and vegetables, bursting with flavor. Then there's couscous, fluffy and light, perfect for soaking up all those delicious sauces. And don't even get me started on the mint tea. It's like a party in your mouth and everyone's invited. But it's not just the food that makes Marrakesh special. The architecture is something else. Think intricate tile work, stunning courtyards with fountains, and those iconic riads, traditional houses built around a central garden. It's like stepping back in time, but with better plumbing, thankfully. And the people. Moroccans are known for their hospitality. They'll welcome you with open arms, invite you into their homes, and probably try to feed you until you explode. Just go with it. It's all part of the experience. So, if you're looking for an adventure, a feast for the senses, and a chance to experience a culture that's both ancient and vibrant, Marrakesh is calling your name. Just don't blame me when you come back with a suitcase full of carpets and a newfound addiction to mint tea. Now, let's head down to the tip of Africa, to a city that's as beautiful as it is resilient, Cape Town, South Africa. They call it the Mother City, and trust me, this mama knows how to take care of her guests. First up, you gotta talk about Table Mountain. It's a big, flat-topped mountain that dominates the skyline. Panoramic vistas of the city, the ocean, and maybe even a whale or two. For those who aren't keen on hiking, you can take a cable car up. It's like a giant glass elevator that glides you to the top. Now, If you're looking for something a little more, shall we say, relaxing, Cape Town has you covered. Head down to Camps Bay, one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen. We're talking white sand, turquoise water, and mountains in the background. It's like something out of a postcard, but with better snacks. And speaking of snacks, don't forget to try a Gatsby while you're in Cape Town. It's basically a giant sub sandwich filled with everything but the kitchen sink, and it's delicious. Just make sure you bring your appetite, because this is not a meal for the faint of heart. Oh, and did I mention the penguins? That's right, Cape Town has penguins. Head down to Boulder's Beach and you can hang out with a whole colony of these adorable creatures. They waddle around, swim in the ocean, and generally just do their penguin thing. It's the perfect way to end a day of exploring this incredible city. Cape Town is a city that has it all: history, culture, natural beauty, and penguins. What more could you ask for? Just pack your bags, book your flights, and get ready for an adventure you won't soon forget. All right, folks, buckle up, because we're heading to the heart of Africa, to a place where the wildlife roams free and the sunsets will take your breath away, the Masai Mara in Kenya. Now, the Masai Mara is famous for one thing in particular: the Great Migration. Imagine this: millions of wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles, all thundering across the plains in search of greener pastures. It's a spectacle of nature unlike anything else on Earth, a reminder of the raw power and beauty of the natural world. Now, if you're lucky enough to be in the Masai Mara during the migration, you'll witness something truly unforgettable. But even if you miss the main event, don't worry. The Masai Mara is teeming with wildlife year-round. We're talking lions, elephants, giraffes, leopards, cheetahs, the whole gang's here. And the best way to experience it all? A safari, of course. Hop in a jeep, grab your binoculars, and get ready for an adventure. You'll be driving through the bush, spotting animals left and right, and feeling like you've stepped right into a National Geographic documentary. The Masai Mara is more than just a safari destination. It's a place to connect with the iconic Maasai culture. Known for their red clothing and intricate beadwork, the Maasai have a deep connection to their cattle and land. Experience their warmth and hospitality firsthand. Visit a Maasai village, hear stories, share meals, and maybe learn a few dance moves. For an unforgettable experience, try a hot air balloon ride. Float over the plains as the sun rises. The Masai Mara breathtaking beauty, incredible wildlife, and rich culture. Ah, Zanzibar. This place is the definition of chill. White sand beaches that stretch on forever. Water so clear you can see your own reflection. And enough palm trees to make you think you've stumbled onto the set of a Bounty commercial. But Zanzibar isn't just about soaking up the sun. It's a place steeped in history. And did I mention the spices? The aroma of cloves and cinnamon in the air is enough to make you want to bottle it up and take it home. The locals are some of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. Zanzibar is calling your name. Trust me, once you've experienced the magic of this island, you'll never want to leave. Now, let's talk about Stone Town, the historical heart of Zanzibar. Imagine a labyrinth of narrow streets, bustling markets, and ancient buildings. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is a feast for the senses. Wander through the alleys, discovering hidden gems around every corner. There are some serious architectural gems here: intricately carved wooden doors, balconies overflowing with flowers, and buildings showcasing Arab, Indian, and African influences. Stone Town offers a unique and unforgettable experience for everyone. All right, folks, buckle up because we're heading into the Sahara Desert, the world's largest hot desert. Now I know what you're thinking. A desert? Really? It's just a whole lot of sand. And you know what? You're not wrong. There is a lot of sand. It's like walking on a beach that never ends. But that's also part of what makes the Sahara so incredible. It's vast, it's unforgiving, and it's absolutely breathtaking. Imagine this. A sea of golden sand dunes stretching as far as the eye can see, the silence broken only by the wind whispering across the dunes, and the most incredible sunsets you've ever witnessed. It's like stepping onto another planet, a world away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. But don't let the serenity fool you. The Sahara is a place of extremes. During the day, the sun beats down with an intensity that'll make you sweat out every ounce of moisture in your body. But as the sun sets, the temperature plummets, and the desert transforms into a canvas for a million stars. Trust me, you've never seen stars like this before. It's like someone sprinkled diamonds across the sky. Now I know what you're thinking. This all sounds very impressive, but what do you actually do in the desert? For thrill seekers, the Sahara offers plenty of adrenaline-pumping activities. Hop on a quad bike and tear across the dunes. Or try sandboarding. It's like snowboarding, but on sand. Experience the desert like a nomad by joining a camel trek. Spend a night under the stars in a traditional Berber camp. Share stories around a crackling fire, enjoying freshly cooked tagine. The Sahara has something for everyone. Pack your sunscreen and sense of adventure. Okay, folks, let's be honest. You can't talk about Africa without mentioning Egypt. And you can't talk about Egypt without mentioning the pyramids of Giza. I mean, these things are old, like really old. We're talking thousands of years, built by pharaohs with, let's be honest, questionable labor practices. But labor issues aside, the pyramids are a testament to human ingenuity. I mean, can you imagine building something like that today? We can barely get a bridge built on time, let alone a giant triangle in the desert. And the craziest part? We still don't know exactly how they did it. Aliens? Time travelers? Who knows? But that's part of the mystery and allure of the pyramids. They make you realize that humans have been capable of amazing things for a very, very long time. And then there's the Sphinx, just chilling nearby like it's no big deal. This giant lion-human hybrid is straight out of a mythology book. It's like the ancient Egyptians looked at a lion and a pharaoh and said, you know what? Let's combine them. And boom, the Sphinx was born. They say the Sphinx holds secrets, ancient wisdom lost to time. Some believe it's a gateway to another dimension. Others think it's just a really big catnap. Honestly, I'm not ruling anything out. But one thing's for sure, a visit to the pyramids and the Sphinx is like taking a step back in time. You can practically feel the presence of the pharaohs, hear the echoes of ancient rituals. It's a humbling experience, reminding us that we're just a small part of a much larger story. All right, folks, let's switch gears from ancient history to the wild side of Africa. And when I say wild, I mean lions, elephants, giraffes, the whole shebang. We're talking about the Serengeti National Park in Tanzania, a place where the circle of life plays out right before your eyes. Now, I'm not talking about some zoo where the most exciting thing is a monkey throwing poop. This is the real deal. We're talking about witnessing the Great Migration, where millions of wildebeest and zebras make their way across the plains in search of greener pastures. It's a sight that will stay with you forever. The sheer scale of it, the dust, the noise, the predators lurking in the shadows. It's like something out of a nature documentary. Except you're actually there. Now, if you're feeling adventurous, and I know you are, you can experience the Serengeti from a whole new perspective, a hot air balloon. That's right, folks. Float above the plains as the sun rises, casting long shadows across the savanna. Imagine sipping your morning coffee as giraffes graze peacefully below, and elephants lumber across the landscape. It's the kind of experience that makes you want to write a poem, or at least post a really epic Instagram story. But whether you're on the ground or in the air, the Serengeti is a reminder of the raw beauty and power of nature. It's a place where you can disconnect from the hustle and bustle of everyday life and reconnect with something bigger than yourself. And there you have it, folks, the top 10 places to visit in Africa. From the majestic Victoria Falls to the ancient pyramids of Giza, from the bustling markets of Marrakesh to the wildlife paradise of the Serengeti, Africa has something to offer everyone. So, what are you waiting for? Pack your bags, book your flights, and get ready for an adventure of a lifetime. Trust me, you won't regret it. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these incredible destinations would you love to visit? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Oyiche Cyber Tech Solutions for more travel inspiration and tips. Let's make your next holiday unforgettable.